Banerjee. Uday Prakash ji, let's talk about the legal aspect. Whose Shiv Sena is it is the basic question. One person has at least 33 MLAs, including him, it is 34 out of 55. The other group has less than 17, 18 right now, if you were to see. So within the legislature party or within the Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha, whose Shiv Sena is it?
Most unfortunate answer would be I am looking at it as an invitation for the court trials. Most unfortunate. In the entire state of Maharashtra, we are facing large number of questions, large number of problems. Despite that, now most unfortunately, at least for a couple of weeks, this matter will land in the court of law. There will be a debate. There will be a high voltage courtroom drama. All those medias will be busy in reporting what he said, what the judge asked, what the steps have been taken. And most unfortunately, the problem which is now asked by you will land in the court of law. Let me elaborate it in a little better manner. Take a case that there is a defection. If there are more than 2/3, then of course that bigger number of the member of the political party are free, they will not be treated as a disqualified. But take a case that if they are less than the requisite figure, the requisite figure is 36. So if there are less than that, then of course there will be a issue about declaring them as a disqualified. Who is going to do that? Speaker. As on today, whether there is a speaker, the speaker post is vacant. Then what the constitution says? Constitution says that the deputy speaker can take a call on this. The deputy speaker is bound to support those remaining persons with whom he had a coalition where at the time of contesting the election. What this ultimately where this is going to land? This is going to land in a court of law. Possibility number 2. In a case that now there is a news that now chief of the legislative party is that post from which Mr. Shinde has been removed.
Correct.
Now, of course, he is going to challenge that. And the media report goes to show that he has raised certain issues which are basic, like whether there was an agenda, whether there was a proper procedure which was followed, whether the requisite quorum was there. These legal issues are not going to stop here. These legal issues will land in the court of law. Possibility number 3. Take a case that some member of the legislative party, they decide that they will resign instead of inviting a disqualification. Again, there will be a further problem. What next? What next is again the question. Then the no confidence motion, because today by this time, the Honorable Chief Minister has not yet tendered resignation. He had said that I am keeping my resignation ready. In other words, again and again, I am suggesting that there is a possibility of a high voltage courtroom drama.
Now here my question, Udayji, my question is with the exclusive visuals coming in from Guwahati. Eknath Shinde with all the rebel MLAs, he's sitting there with a lot of them seen in the picture. At least 6 or 7 of the rebel MLAs who are sitting with him, and he's there having a look at some of the paperwork and the letters. Now, my question, Udayji, as we stay with these pictures is, if Eknath Shinde later this evening turns around and says that I have support of 36 MLAs, but I am not looking at defecting. There is some audio also. Let's listen in.
लोकांना बोलून ते स्वतःच बोलत होते ते आता होत आहे त्याचा कोणाला पक्षात ठेवायचं कोणाला काढायचं तुम्ही ठरवा नाही ज्यांना अधिकार दिलेले त्यांना अधिकार आपल्याला अधिकार दिले सुनील प्रभू पासून सुरुवात करतो
So these are pictures and discussion of some of the appointments that have been made, and discussing about Sunil Prabhu, which they said that this entire appointment itself is illegal. Going back to Udayji and asking this question, Eknath Shinde does not want to break away. He is not wanting to break away from the Shiv Sena and join the BJP, sir. He is saying, I am the real Shiv Sena inside the Maharashtra Assembly because I have the numbers. So if he has 36,
they might say so, but ultimately what is on the paper there is a resolution which is passed and I'm told that it has been signed by around 16%. Now, therefore, unless and until some authority decides that particular resolution is not correct, Eknath Shinde will have to challenge it. Unless he challenges, I'm afraid he won't go ahead. Unless the governor says that, no, sorry, these 16 persons who have signed, they are lesser in number. Unless that happens, I'm afraid Eknath Shinde will not get any benefit.
Correct.
Apart from that, as you rightly said, that now the main issue will be who is governing or who is controlling the original party. In the framework of the constitution, there are two terminologies. One is the original political party, and the second is legislature party.
Correct.
So therefore, now the question is, who can claim that I am an original political party? It is possible that the present chief minister can say that I am an original party, I am a supremo, but the legislature party is concerned, the head was Mr. Shinde, and therefore the question comes whether Mr. Shinde has been removed in accordance with law or not.
Correct.
And therefore, once again, I am suggesting that unless and until that particular declaration is challenged by Mr. Shinde before the competent authority, namely the governor, I am afraid we will have to search for different answers, and perhaps it will land in the litigation.
Because it all hinges on that. Because if the governor decides no, it is wide the party's constitution and what has been done, quorum was not there, the numbers were inadequate, the due process was not followed, and that's why this acceptance by the deputy speaker cannot be allowed. And Mr. Shinde says, I have 36 MLAs who are supporting me, and he is reinstated as a CLP. Then he becomes the CLP, and his whip will have to be adhered to by the rest of the Shiv Sena MLAs. That's what will be. That's what will happen. Abhishek Banerjee is with us. Udayji, thank you very much. So you're saying until and unless this matter is decided of the CLP, the rest could get into a flux. So the governor has to decide. The governor is in the hospital. He's reached. Let's hope he gets well soon. He's down with COVID, but he said that I'm available via VC. So Abhishek Banerjee, but Rashid Kidwai also wanted to get in. Somewhere is this going into the courts, or is this matter going to be resolved?
Anand, it's very simple.
Can I get Abhishek, a word from Abhishek before I come to you, Rashid ji? Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, Anand, the first thing that I would say is that none of the MBA partners today have any ground to complain or to play victim. Let us remember the most important thing in a democracy, that is the people's verdict. The people's mandate, there is no doubt that in 2019 the mandate was for BJP Shiva Sena government to be formed in Maharashtra. But at that time, these people were celebrating the so-called Chanakya Niti that led to the formation of the MPA. And if somebody else is doing the same Chanakya Niti and the MPA government is collapsing, then where is the question of playing victim? If anything, I would say that BJP plus a majority of Shiva Sena MLAs is much closer to the original mandate given by the people of Maharashtra than the Shiva Sena, Congress, NCP combined. I think everybody will agree on that. And the second point that I will make is on the question of ideology. It is very easy to say, Kidwai was saying it, like, politician will go anywhere there is power. And maybe that is true in this case. Maybe 75% is true. But there is a very strong 25% ideology factor here also. That the average Shiva Sena MP, MLA feels ideologically much closer to the BJP than to the NCP or the Congress. And after the MPA formation, they were trying to turn the Shiva Sena into a dynastic party very similar to NCP or to Congress. And if Eknath Shinde, if he says that I want to form the real Shiva Sena and I am the ideological inheritor of Swargya Balasahebji, then what is wrong in this, frankly? And one last question that I would ask is, on the ideological question, somebody was saying that Shiva Sena is not ideological, they are not ideological. Okay, fine. But then today, Uddhav Thackeray and both Eknath Shinde, they were both saying that they are soldiers of Hindutva. So where does it leave the Congress party and its secular liberal camp followers who are always fighting against Hindutva? Please clarify this point. Is Hindutva good or bad? If Hindutva is bad, then why are you with any of the factions of Shiva Sena? And if Hindutva is good, then what is Rahul Gandhi's big ideological battle against Hindutva?
But Rahul Gandhi and his ideological battle is not the issue right now, so I'm going to park that question separately. But clearly ideological opposites, because the Congress is somebody who's bashing Hindutva, and Uddhav Thackeray is sitting there and saying, I am a champion of Hindutva. Eknath Shinde is saying, if you are a champion of Hindutva,